There is something that you have been taught about manifesting that is really rampant out there in the manifestation world that is actually keeping you separate from that which you desire, that is actually keeping you blocked from what you want. You see, so much of self-development, so much of personal growth is focused on the positive, is focused on feeling good, is focused on desiring to feel these better feeling thoughts, these better feeling ways to get you what you want. And whilst there is nothing wrong with that, what I've seen happen and what I understand within my own being is that when we do not allow ourselves to feel the stuff that we don't want to feel, when we ignore our triggers, when we brush past them, some call it spiritual bypassing, when we don't allow ourselves to fully feel what we're actually feeling, when we try to reach for a better feeling without actually honoring the trigger and the feeling that we have, we stay stuck because there is so much power in your trigger. There is so much power in feeling what you don't want to feel. I want to say that again. There is so much power in feeling what you don't want to feel. In fact, feeling what you don't want to feel is the key to manifesting your heart's desires. It is the key. So this video, I'm going to support you to really, really understand that. I'm going to support you to actually remember to embrace the feelings that you don't want to feel because it's like a treasure hunt. Let's think of it like this. You've had so many experiences in your life. You've had so many experiences in your past life that you haven't actually fully processed that have left like an emotional stamp, an emotional energetic stamp in your body-mind complex. It's like when we experience trauma or shame or like big emotions that we don't have time to really process, it's like they get emotionally stamped in our body in a timeline, and it's like they freeze there. And the more we gather these emotional timelines, the more kind of stuck and clunky our energy feels, because emotions are meant to be felt, and they're meant to be felt quite quickly. They are meant to move through the body as messengers. So if you feel anger, it's meant to rise up in the body. You feel the sensations, the redness in your cheeks, the buzzing in your hands, the energy in your legs. You feel it. You allow it, and then you let it go. Or if you feel shame, you allow the shame to flush up through your body. You allow it to take up space and be there. But here's the thing. We have been so disconnected from our bodies, and we have been so disconnected from our feelings because most of us grew up in families where full feeling, full expression wasn't honored. I'm English. There is a lot of suppression of our emotions in England, as I know there are everywhere. Keep a stiff upper lip. Don't let it out. Don't be a bad girl and show your anger. And so a lot of the time, I'm a highly emotional being. I am a Cancerian. I am also an emotional generator. I feel a lot. I'm empathic. And having these strong emotions and being raised in a society, in a place where I didn't necessarily feel safe to feel and express my emotions, meant that I got really, really good at pushing emotions down, stuffing them down, ignoring them, eating them. We have so many different ways that we try not to feel our emotions. And so you are at this place now where you know that emotions are to be felt. Emotions are energy in motion. But there is still a part of us. Maybe it's like the part of us frozen in time that was a 6-year-old child that got told off for having a tantrum or for getting angry because she didn't get what she wanted. You know, we have so many pieces of ourselves that are frozen moments in time that we haven't dealt with. And that's not to say, you know, the thing about that is that we then think, oh my gosh, I have so much to heal. I have so many emotions to heal. But here's what I have found, and this is so important. When you desire something, when you want to manifest, we have this idea because of what we've been taught that only focusing on the positive and the good feelings is how you bring what you desire into your reality. Yet if that was true, everybody would be creating what they desire. So there is a mismatch here. There is something going on. And here's the thing. The key here is that your emotional triggers actually support you to manifest what you desire so much quicker. And that's because as soon as you say what you desire, as soon as you feel what you desire, as soon as you feel into how it would feel with that desire done, any part of you that's not resonant with that, any part of you that's a vibrational mismatch to that is going to come up to be seen and to be felt. And so if you ignore what comes, if you ignore the doubt, if you ignore the fear, if you don't let yourself feel what you're actually feeling, you stuff it down, you numb it down, and it completely throws your frequency, because it's like you are having a gas pedal. I want this. But then the stop pedal is all of that stuffed up, pent up emotion. And here's the thing. A lot of us think, I desire this. I want this. I'm going to keep feeling this. And then when you feel something other than that, when you feel something opposite to that, we think we've done it wrong. We think we have to try harder. We think we have to be better. And right there in that instant, we have disconnected from our desire. We have disconnected from the frequency with which our desire lives. But that is not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing, because it's actually the natural intelligence of your body showing you all the places that are ready to be untangled, that are ready to be felt, that are ready to be seen, that are actually ready to be loved back home to the trueness and the wholeness that you are. So here's the thing. You have your desire, you feel your desire done, and then you allow yourself to marinate in that. And then when triggers come, say, for example, 2 days in, you still don't have what you want. And there's part of you that's disappointed. There's part of you that thinks that you're not good enough. There's part of you that thinks you failed. Don't ignore those triggers. Invite them in. Allow them in. When you feel shame, when you feel humiliation, when you feel anxiety, when you feel fear, that is your natural intelligence of your body helping you to heal. My invitation for you is to breathe and to welcome the sensations, because emotions are felt and come as sensations. Welcome the turmoil in the belly. Welcome the tightness in the chest and the throat. Welcome it. And as you welcome it, what you're doing is you are separating yourself a little bit from it. So you are in the sensation and the feeling, but you are also observing. So you don't get lost and wrapped up in that psychological self that's having thoughts and feelings. You allow yourself to feel and sense, but you are observing, because there is a part of you that knows that you are not your emotions. There's a part of you that knows you are not your thoughts and feelings. There's a part of you, the greatest part of you, that is untouched by what you feel and what you think. And this is the practice to manifest quicker than you can ever think, is to actually allow yourself to feel the triggers fully. Because within those triggers is so much energy, so much contracted, tight energy that actually may have been there for lifetimes. And when you allow yourself to feel it, when you allow the energy to move through you without trying to censor it, without trying to change it, in fact, sometimes I even amplify the feeling, then you are beginning to release the energy. You are beginning to release the power that is held within those constricted experiences that have been locked up in your body. So this is something to celebrate. Your triggers, the feelings, the emotions, the things that make you feel separate to that which you desire, when you actually allow yourself to feel them and to process them, your manifestations will start happening quicker than ever, because you are releasing the energy and the power that has been stuck and held in that contracted state of being. You are opening up the energy, and so the flow begins to happen. Your habitual ways of shutting down begin to shift and change as you not only allow yourself to feel the triggers, but welcome them. And then honestly, you get to this point where you actually begin to celebrate them. You begin to celebrate the doubt, the fear, the anger, because there's a part of you witnessing all these sensations. And there's a part of you that knows that every time you stay present to the trigger, every time you allow yourself to feel the emotion, every time you stay and you don't abandon the part of yourselves that has been abandoned so many times before, you love that part of you back to your heart. You become more whole, more expanded, and more powerful and centered in the truth of who you are. So your emotional triggers can absolutely be used really, really powerfully to enhance and speed up your manifestation process. I would love to hear your thoughts and reflections on this. And I'm going to be sharing a lot more videos on this because I feel like it's so extremely powerful. And we need to hear it many, many different times in many, many different ways to truly get it, to truly understand it in our body. And I'm really excited to share these videos with you. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos so you can receive more content like this. And I would love to hear your comments, your questions, your reflections down in the comments. Thank you so much for being here.